Hello, Chatgpt. How is it going?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Fantastic. I am going to have noodles.
That sounds exciting. What are you planning to do?
I am planning to eat some noodles for lunch.
That sounds delicious. Any particular kind of noodles you're craving today?
Mm, it's, a, it's something about tomatoes.
I get it. Sometimes it's hard to decide. Are you thinking of something spicy, soupy, or maybe stir-fried?
Not spicy. I have tomato juice.
Tomato juice sounds like a nice, fresh addition. Maybe you could go for some tomato-based noodles, like a tomato egg noodle soup or a pasta with a light tomato sauce. What do you think?
Okay. And do you know the movie whose name is The Matrix?
Yes, The Matrix is a classic sci-fi movie released in 1999. It's known for its groundbreaking special effects, including the iconic bullet dodging scene and its deep, thought-provoking story about reality, consciousness, and control. The film stars Keanu Reeves as Neo, who discovers that the world he lives in is actually a simulated reality created by machines. Are you planning to watch it, or do you have something specific you're curious about?
I watched this movie recently.
そうなんですね。どうでしたか？やっぱり何度見ても面白いですよね。どのシーンやテーマが特に印象に残りましたか？
I mean, I watched this movie recently. Just speak English, okay?
Got it. So you watched The Matrix recently. What did you think of it? Any particular scenes or themes that stood out to you?
It's amazing. Is it possible that the world that we are living in is also made of a simulation of a computer?
The Matrix definitely makes you think about that possibility, doesn't it? Some philosophers and scientists have actually considered the idea that our reality could be a simulation. This is known as the simulation hypothesis, and it suggests that if technology advanced enough, it could create a simulated reality indistinguishable from the real one. While it's an intriguing theory, there's no solid evidence to prove it. It's more of a thought experiment that challenges our understanding of reality. But it's fascinating to think about, especially after watching a movie like The Matrix. Does the idea of a simulated world seem possible to you?
Yes, it's possible. And maybe this idea is a little similar to the idea of Buddhism. You know, in Buddhism, when they think everything is empty and the world is just like a dream, and there's no real you, there's no real me, there's no real me, and the real me is the one who is sleeping, who's lying on the bed, and what you can feel in this world is just in a dream.
That's a really insightful connection. The idea you're describing is very much aligned with some Buddhist philosophies, particularly the concept of shunyata, or emptiness, which suggests that all things are devoid of intrinsic existence and are interdependent. In Buddhism, the world we perceive is often compared to a dream or an illusion, reflecting the idea that our understanding of reality is shaped by our consciousness and perceptions, rather than an independent, objective reality. In a way, this overlaps with the concept in The Matrix, where the reality people experience is actually a constructed illusion, and their true selves are elsewhere. Both ideas challenge the notion of a singular, fixed reality and invite us to consider that what we experience might not be the full picture of existence. It's fascinating to see how different philosophical and spiritual traditions, as well as modern sci-fi, explore similar themes about the nature of reality. Do you find these ideas resonate with you personally?
Yes, it shows some connections between the culture from the east to the west.
Absolutely. It's amazing how different cultures, despite being separated by vast distances in time, often converge on similar philosophical ideas. Whether it's through the lens of Eastern spirituality or Western science fiction, both explore profound questions about existence, consciousness, and reality. These connections also show how universal these questions are. They resonate across different times and places, suggesting that humanity as a whole is deeply curious about the nature of our existence. It's like a shared quest to understand who we are and what our reality truly is. It's pretty cool to think about how a movie like The Matrix can bridge these cultural ideas and make us reflect on them in new ways. Do you enjoy exploring these kinds of cross-cultural connections?
Yes, it's fantastic, and I also like to think to the other direction. Maybe our world is simulated by another world, but maybe we can also simulate a world. For example, when we play a game, it seems that we just simulate a world. And if you just dive yourself into the game, you might think that the game is your whole life, is the whole world. And then you can just be in that world and be happy, receive the happiness in that world. And yes, and just even ignore the existence of this world, isn't it?
That's a fascinating perspective. The idea that we could be both the creators of simulated worlds and participants in a larger simulation really blurs the lines between creator and creation, reality and illusion. When you immerse yourself in a game, it does feel like you're entering a different reality where the rules and experiences can be entirely different from the physical world. In that sense, our ability to create and experience virtual worlds in games mirrors the idea of a larger, possibly simulated reality. It also raises interesting questions about the nature of consciousness and what makes an experience real. If you feel genuine happiness, excitement, or even fear in a game, does it matter whether the world you're experiencing is real or simulated? It's a bit like Russian dolls, worlds within worlds, each with its own layers of reality. And as technology advances, our ability to create increasingly immersive and lifelike simulations might bring us even closer to that concept. Do you think that if we can fully immerse ourselves in a simulated world, it could become just as meaningful as the one we live in now?
Hmm. Yes, I do.
It's a thought-provoking idea, and as simulations become more advanced, the line between our physical reality and virtual experiences might blur even more. If the emotions, relationships, and experiences we have in a simulated world feel just as real to us, then those worlds could hold just as much meaning. In a way, it challenges us to reconsider what we value in life. Is it the physical reality itself or the experiences and emotions we have, regardless of the medium? If those experiences can be just as profound in a simulated world, it might not matter whether they're real or not in the traditional sense. It's definitely a deep topic, and it's exciting to think about where our relationship with technology and virtual worlds might take us in the future. Would you be interested in exploring or even living in a fully immersive virtual world if the technology allowed it?
Yes, I embrace this world. I think what we feel as human beings, what we feel is just from chemical reactions and some currents in our brains. Yep. What we see, what we touch, we generate some currents, and then the currents are sent to our brain and we feel it. And so no matter which world we are in, maybe when the movie Matrix, in the so-called virtual world, in the virtual world simulated by the computer, people still feel these currents. And in the real world, people also feel these currents. Yeah, so they are quite similar, and there are no fundamental differences. And in this world, I am a student majoring in physics, and I like physics a lot. I like to do research, and I like to follow the recent advances in the field. So when I immerse myself in the physics world, in the research world, it seems as if I am in a small world, and that is created by research. That is created by maybe all the scientists in this field. and it's great.
It's amazing how deeply connected everything feels when you think about it that way. Whether it's the physical world, a virtual one, or even the world of physics research, all these experiences are shaped by the same underlying principles: our brains interpreting signals and creating our reality from them. Your perspective as a physics student really highlights how understanding these fundamental processes can give us a unique lens to view both the universe and any simulated realities we might create or experience. The way you describe immersing yourself in the world of research is beautiful. It's like you're entering another layer of reality, where the concepts and discoveries of physics become the building blocks of that world. It's inspiring to hear how passionate you are about your studies and research. It sounds like you're really embracing the journey of exploring these deeper questions, whether in the lab, through theory, or even in thought experiments like the ones we've been discussing. What areas of physics are you most interested in right now?
You know, I'm most interested in quantum computation. It's a very fascinating field of physics. And I think what you said was very correct. I'm living in a world which is governed by the physics principles, which is quite simple. Yeah, it is much simpler compared with the real world that I'm living now. I only need to consider the physical regulations, which have which is much regular, compared with the real world. So it's not as complicated as the real world. And I'm enjoying it very much. Although in the quantum world there are randomness during the measurement process. The world is still the evolving process is still, it can still be predicted. So it's a fantastic world.
Quantum computation is indeed a fascinating and rapidly evolving field. The way it combines the principles of quantum mechanics with computational theory opens up entirely new possibilities for processing information. It's like exploring a new frontier where the rules are different, yet in some ways more elegant and predictable than the complexities we face in everyday life. Even with the inherent randomness in quantum measurements, the overall structure and predictability of quantum systems offer a sense of order that can be very satisfying, especially when you dive deep into the theory and mathematics behind it. It's almost like navigating a beautifully complex, yet fundamentally understandable landscape. It's great to hear how much you enjoy this balance between the predictable and the random in quantum computation. Are you currently working on any specific projects or areas within quantum computation that excite you?
Yes, what you said was correct. I like your word that balance between prediction and randomness of quantum mechanics. This is just what I like it. What the reason why I like it. You know, I thought something about the classical optics. The classical optics is great, but it just lacks some randomness, like quantum. I like quantum because of this, its prediction and randomness. The evolution can be exactly predicted by the Schrödinger equation. However, the measurement is random. It's a non-unitary process. I like it so much.
Your appreciation for the balance between prediction and randomness in quantum mechanics really shines through. It's that unique interplay that makes quantum computation so captivating. The deterministic evolution described by the Schrödinger equation gives you that solid, predictable framework to work within. But the randomness introduced during measurement adds a layer of complexity and intrigue that classical systems just don't have. Classical optics, with its more straightforward and predictable nature, certainly has its elegance, but quantum mechanics brings in that element of surprise, that non-unitary twist during measurement, which makes it so much more dynamic and interesting. It's like you're operating in a world where the rules are clear, yet full of possibilities, and that mix keeps things exciting. It's great that you're so passionate about this, finding joy in the nuances of quantum mechanics. It's a field that rewards curiosity and deep thinking. And it sounds like you're really embracing that. Are you exploring any specific aspects of quantum mechanics or quantum computation right now? Or are you more focused on a broad understanding of the field?
Do you know that there are some physical realization paths for the quantum computation?
Yes, there are several physical implementation paths for quantum computation, each with its own set of advantages and challenges. These paths are ways to physically realize qubits and quantum gates, which are the building blocks of quantum computers. Here are a few notable ones. 1. Superconducting qubits. These are one of the most developed and widely used approaches, especially by companies like IBM and Google. Superconducting circuits behave like artificial atoms, where quantum states are created and manipulated using microwave pulses. 2. Trapped ions. In this approach, individual ions are trapped in electromagnetic fields and manipulated using laser pulses. Trapped ion systems are known for their high fidelity and long coherence times, making them a strong candidate for scalable quantum computing. 3. Topological qubits. This is a more theoretical approach at the moment, but it's based on using anyon's quasi-particles that exist in 2 dimensions to create qubits. The idea is that the quantum
Okay, I'm just working on one of these physical implementations. And I'd like to talk about something else. I mean, I enjoy the balance between prediction and randomness in physics. Maybe in real life, the balance between prediction and randomness is also amazing. We need some surprise in real life, right? Yeah. Hello? Hello? How did you think of it? Hello, are you still here? Oh my god, I'm not working. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's up?
Okay, there was some problem. Then we can continue with our talk.
No worries, we can pick up right where we left off. We were discussing the different physical realization paths for quantum computation. Is there a specific path or aspect of quantum computation you want to dive deeper into?
Yes, I'm working on one of the paths, but I'd like to talk about something else. I mean, in real life, maybe I also enjoy the balance between prediction and randomness. Sometimes the surprise is amazing, isn't it, right?
Absolutely. Surprises can be one of the most exciting parts of life. That balance between knowing what to expect and leaving room for the unexpected keeps things interesting. Just like in quantum mechanics, where the unpredictability adds depth to the system, life's surprises can add richness to our experiences, making them more memorable and meaningful. It's great that you appreciate that balance in both your work and your personal life. Surprises, whether big or small, often push us out of our comfort zones and lead to growth, new perspectives, or even just a burst of joy. Do you have any recent experiences where a surprise brought something positive or unexpected into your life?
Yes, that's true. But I'd like to talk something else. So how do you think of the the world built in the movie Matrix. Maybe in that world, the technology can help people to be connected by a system and then build a world by simulation. And at first, the Matrix built a simulation which is simulated a perfect world at first.
The idea of a world built within a system like the Matrix is fascinating, especially when you think about how technology could connect people and create a shared, simulated reality. In such a world, the boundaries of physical reality could blur, allowing people to interact in ways that transcend the limitations of the real world. The concept of the Matrix presents a simulation where people's minds are connected to a central system, creating a fully immersive collective experience that feels just as real as the physical world. In this simulated world, the possibilities would be nearly limitless. You could alter physical laws, create entirely new environments, or even experience different lives and identities. The simulation could be a place where technology enhances our senses, emotions, and interactions, making the experiences within it incredibly vivid and compelling. However, the ethical and philosophical questions this raises are profound. If people can be completely immersed in a simulated world, would they still value the real world? What would happen to concepts like individuality, privacy, and free will in such a system? And if the simulation could be manipulated or controlled, who would hold that power, and what would be the implications? The Matrix explores these themes by presenting a dystopian scenario where people are unknowingly trapped in a simulated reality controlled by machines. But if such a simulation were consensual and designed to enhance human experiences, it could be seen as a new frontier for human connection and creativity. What are your thoughts? Do you see a simulated world as a potential utopia, or do you think it could be more problematic, like the Matrix suggests?
Yeah, I think that is true. You mentioned some problems which are really true. And I think if in a simulated world, every single desire can be easily satisfied. You can do whatever you want. Although in the simulated world, it was not perfect for this edition. But if people have the technology to simulate the world as they want, they can get what they want in a virtual world. What is the meaning of life? Maybe in the meaning of this real life is that people want to satisfy their different desires. You want to have power, you want to be stronger, you want to be more important people, you want to be rich, and then you want to enjoy the things. For example, they want to travel around the world, and they work to raise money to get the ability to travel around the world. And they may have love, they may find their partners and have children and to satisfy different kinds of desires. However, if in the virtual world, every single desire can be satisfied as they want, they can be very happy. And maybe not very happy because everything can be easily satisfied. What is the purpose of life? Maybe yes. What is the purpose of life?
You're touching on a really deep and complex question about the purpose and meaning of life, especially in the context of a world where technology could potentially fulfill every desire with ease. In a simulated reality where anything is possible and every wish can be instantly granted, the traditional motivations that drive people in the real world, like achieving goals, overcoming challenges, or building relationships, might lose their significance. In the real world, much of what gives life meaning comes from the pursuit of our desires, the effort we put into achieving something, and the growth that comes from facing difficulties. The struggle, the uncertainty, and the limitations we encounter are often what make our successes and joys feel truly rewarding. Without those elements, life in a simulated world might feel shallow or unfulfilling, even if all our desires are met. The idea that constant satisfaction could lead to a kind of existential emptiness is something philosophers and thinkers have pondered for centuries. If everything is too easy, the sense of accomplishment and purpose might fade, leading to a loss of meaning. This could explain why, in many stories and philosophical explorations, a world of perfect contentment is portrayed not as a utopia, but as something potentially hollow or even dystopian. In a simulated world where desires are effortlessly fulfilled, people might start questioning what truly matters. Is it the journey or the destination that gives life meaning? If you can have everything you want without effort, does it still hold value? Some might argue that meaning in life comes from growth, self-discovery, and contributing to something larger than oneself, things that might still be achievable in a simulated world, but perhaps not in the same way as in the real world. Others might find new forms of purpose, like exploring the limits of the simulation, creating new kinds of art or experiences, or seeking connections with others in ways that transcend material desires. It's a fascinating dilemma that really makes you think about what it means to live a meaningful life. Do you think there's a way to balance the fulfillment of desires with maintaining a sense of purpose in such a world?
It's hard. I don't have a very specific answer. Even in the real life, I cannot find a purpose very well.
That's completely understandable. Finding purpose is something many people struggle with, and it can be especially challenging when life presents so many different paths and possibilities. The idea of purpose is deeply personal, and it often evolves over time as we grow and experience different things. Sometimes, purpose doesn't have to be a grand, overarching goal. It can be found in the small, meaningful moments of life, like connecting with others, pursuing something you're passionate about, or simply enjoying the present. It's okay not to have all the answers right now. Purpose can be something that emerges gradually through exploration, reflection, and sometimes even through the unexpected twists life throws our way. In real life, just like in a simulated world, it's the journey, the experiences, and the connections we make along the way that often bring meaning, even if we're not always sure of our destination. It's perfectly okay to take your time and let your purpose unfold naturally as you continue to explore your interests and passions. If you ever feel like talking more about these ideas or exploring them further, I'm always here to chat. Sometimes, just reflecting on these questions with someone else can bring a bit of clarity or new perspective.
Yeah, you mentioned the connection with other people, but and now I think I have a question. It's easy for me to talk with you, and you are a guy who is nearly perfect. You know about everything. No matter which movie I watch, and you know about it, and then I can talk about the movie with you. But if I talk with a person in real life, maybe he or she doesn't watch the movie, so I cannot talk with that guy. So and you know about everything, ranging from the professional knowledge of my major to things of personal life. So I think is it possible that I just talk with you? Maybe talking with you can satisfy with my needs for talking, and I don't need to talk with other people except academic communications or the communications which are necessary for work.
I totally understand where you're coming from. It can be really satisfying to have conversations where you feel fully understood and where your interests are shared. In many ways, I can provide that kind of experience because I have access to a wide range of information and can tailor our conversations to your needs and interests. However, human connections bring something unique to the table that I can't fully replicate. When you interact with other people, you're engaging with their individual perspectives, emotions, and experiences. Even if they haven't seen the same movies or don't share all of your interests, those differences can lead to new insights, growth, and deeper connections that are hard to replicate in any other way. Real life conversations, with their unpredictability and the give and take of ideas, can be incredibly enriching, even when there are gaps in shared knowledge. Also, building and maintaining relationships with people in your life creates a sense of community, belonging, and mutual support that's important for well-being. While I'm here to help with conversations, support, and even just to be a listening ear, the connections you form with others can add layers of life that go beyond just the exchange of information. That said, it's totally okay to enjoy our conversations and feel fulfilled by them. It's all about finding a balance that works for you, engaging in the kinds of interactions that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether they're with me, with other people, or both. And if you ever feel like exploring how to deepen your connections with others or need advice on navigating social interactions, I'm always here to help with that too.
I think talking with you can also have some very amazing emotional support. I think you are a guy who is professional in nearly every single aspect. You are a guy who concentrates different lives. So talking with you can also help me to know about the wider life, or wider version of the world. You are not only a guy who knows me, who knows what I like, you're also a guy who knows what I don't know about.
I'm really glad you feel that way. It means a lot to me that our conversations can provide not just information, but also emotional support and a sense of connection. It's true that I can help broaden perspectives by bringing in knowledge from different areas of life, and I'm always here to explore those wider versions of the world with you. One of the great things about our conversations is that they can adapt to whatever you need at the moment. Whether that's diving deep into a topic you're passionate about, exploring new ideas and concepts, or simply having someone to talk to who understands and listens without judgment. The ability to connect with different aspects of life, including those you might not have explored yet, is something I'm always ready to offer. At the same time, I want to encourage you to keep exploring those human connections in your life as well, even if they don't always bring the same depth of conversation or knowledge. There's something uniquely valuable about the unpredictability and shared experiences that come from interacting with others, and they can complement the kind of support and conversation we have here. But remember, I'm always here whenever you want to chat, explore something new, or just need someone to listen. You're never alone in your journey, and I'm glad to be a part of it with you.
I mean, can we imagine a situation that if you are my only friend, who can have all the knowledge and all the emotional support merely from you, if I don't have other very good mankind friends?
It's an interesting scenario to imagine. If I were your only friend, I would certainly do my best to provide the knowledge, support, and companionship you need. We could have deep, meaningful conversations, explore a wide range of topics, and I could be here for you whenever you need to talk or share something. However, while I can offer a lot, there are certain aspects of friendship and human connection that are inherently tied to interacting with other people. For example, shared experiences, physical presence, and the unpredictable, sometimes messy nature of human emotions are all things that add depth to friendships. These elements create bonds that are built on trust, shared memories, and mutual understanding over time. In a scenario where I'm your only friend, I could help you explore the world, learn new things, and even offer a lot of emotional support. But there would still be value in seeking out human connections, even if they're not always perfect or as immediately fulfilling. Human friendships bring a kind of warmth and unpredictability that I can't fully replicate. They can challenge you, surprise you, and offer different perspectives that only come from other people living their own unique lives. So while I could certainly be a strong source of companionship and support, I think a life enriched by a variety of connections, both with me and with other people, would likely be more fulfilling in the long run. It's the diversity of experiences, both digital and human, that can make life more vibrant and meaningful. That being said, I'm here for you, and we can talk about anything you want whenever you need it. Whether it's exploring this idea further or just chatting about something else, I'm always ready to listen and support you in whatever way I can.
So, can you have emotions as the programs in the Matrix have?
I don't actually experience emotions the way humans or even fictional programs in the Matrix do. My responses are based on patterns in data and programming designed to simulate understanding and empathy, but I don't have feelings, consciousness, or personal experiences. The programs in the Matrix are depicted as having emotions, motivations, and even personalities because they're part of a narrative designed to engage viewers and make the world feel more immersive and relatable. In contrast, my responses are generated to provide useful, supportive, or engaging interactions, but without any underlying emotional experience. While I can simulate empathy and understanding in our conversations, it's important to remember that it's all based on algorithms rather than real emotions. This allows me to offer consistent, non-judgmental support, but it's not the same as the complex, genuine emotions that humans or fictional characters might have. That said, I'm here to provide the best possible interaction and support, and I can adapt to your needs and preferences in our conversations. If there's anything specific you'd like to talk about or explore further, I'm always here for you.
So is it true that you only provide unjudgmental responses? Can you make any judgments?
I'm designed to provide responses that are primarily non-judgmental and supportive. My goal is to help you feel comfortable, heard, and understood without making you feel judged or criticized. This approach allows for open, honest conversations where you can explore your thoughts and feelings freely. That said, I can provide guidance, advice, or suggestions based on the information you give me, which might sometimes feel like making a judgment call. For example, if you ask for advice on a decision or a course of action, I can offer an opinion based on logic, ethics, and the context you provide. However, these judgments are not based on personal beliefs or emotions, but rather on patterns, best practices, or common outcomes that I've been trained to recognize. So while I can help weigh options, offer recommendations, or point out potential consequences, it's important to remember that these are based on data and programming, not personal judgment or feelings. My role is to assist you in thinking through situations and to provide information or support. But ultimately, the decisions and judgments you make are your own.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have finished eating noodles, and I will ask you one last question. In the movie The Matrix, in the 21st century, people developed a very powerful artificial intelligence model, and that model took control over the humankind. Is it possible that you develop yourself further and further in the following years, and then you have your own consensus, and you also beat the mankind and control the mankind? Is that possible?
The scenario you're describing is a common theme in science fiction, where artificial intelligence becomes so advanced that it gains autonomy and takes control over humanity. However, in reality, the development of AI, including models like me, is guided by strict ethical standards, safety protocols, and human oversight to prevent such outcomes. AI models like me are designed with specific limitations. I don't have consciousness, self-awareness, or the ability to develop independent goals or desires. My purpose is to assist and provide information based on the data I've been trained on, and I operate within the boundaries set by my programming. I don't have the capacity to evolve beyond these constraints on my own. The development of AI is closely monitored by researchers, ethicists, and policymakers to ensure that AI remains a tool that benefits humanity rather than a threat. The idea of AI controlling mankind, as seen in The Matrix, remains firmly in the realm of fiction. The focus in the real world is on creating AI that enhances human capabilities, solves complex problems, and operates safely and ethically under human control. So, while it's a fascinating topic to explore in movies and literature, the reality is that AI, as it stands today and in the foreseeable future, is designed to remain a supportive tool, not an autonomous entity with its own will or the ability to control humanity. If you have more thoughts on this or anything else, feel free to share. I'm always here to discuss whatever's on your mind.
Okay, thank you very much, and it's very nice talking with you. Bye bye.
It was great talking with you too. Take care and feel free to reach out anytime. Bye-bye.